Hey, did you know that you can file your taxes for completely free? Well, it's true, you actually can, and you have some options, and I'm going to show you what those options are in this video. The problem is a lot of people don't realize this because, those companies like TurboTax and things like that, they do such a good job with their marketing that everyone just goes, straight to their websites and starts preparing their tax return. So in this video, I'm going to explain sort of what your options are for doing or preparing your taxes completely free. You've basically got three options, okay? Option one, and I'll show you this on my screen and kind of walk you through this so you know, and I'll try to include the links in the description below as well. But option one is you've got something called IRS Free File, which is actually sort of a guided tax preparation service done with partners that the IRS has collaborated with to provide you that service for free. Again, I'll show you those different service providers here in a minute. Option two is if you're sort of like a tax whiz, or you just interested in learning how to file and prepare your returns yourself using the instructions that are on the forms. There's something called Free File Fillable Forms. Try saying that 3 times fast, right? Free File Fillable Forms. That's option two. And option three is you can try to use the free version of TurboTax. They have a free version of their software, and I'll show you that here too, and what sort of the requirements are to be able to use that. Before I start sharing my screen here, if it's your first time just seeing one of my videos, let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Navi Miraj. I'm a CPA who produces content on social media that educates you on tax strategies and hopefully can save you thousands of dollars in taxes, especially if you're a business owner. So I do that here on social media, but I also do it in a much more comprehensive and easier to understand manner on my website through a course. And you can find out those details on navimirajcpa.com. So let me walk you through the screens here. So again, I'll put the links in the description, but this is the website. It's on the IRS website, right? It's legit. And so you've got two options listed here, IRS Free File. And so you can kind of see there are some limitations as to how much your what's called adjusted gross income can be to use this guided tax software for free. Or if your income is greater than $73,000, then you can use that free file fillable forms, the quad F method. So fillable forms, okay? And like I said, I'm going to show you this here in a second. So those are those two options, and I'll explain that TurboTax option here later. So if you use the IRS Free File, which is the guided tax preparation, right? This might be similar service to like TurboTax. Like I said, the IRS has partnered with a few providers. So if you click here on Browse All, you'll be able to see those various providers. And I think I have them already pulled up here on this screen. So it's not just like one or two options. You've got several. You can see them here, fileyourtaxes.com, IRS Free File Program delivered by Easy Tax Return, TaxSlayer. That's probably the one that I would go with. They're a pretty large company. But if you want to, you can kind of put in what your gross income is, your age, tax credits that you want to take if you're active military, and this will sort of filter what might be the best program for you. And this is for federal filing, but some of these providers actually will do the state for you for free as well. So have a look at these different providers. Off the top of my head, I might kind of use the TaxSlayer software because it's just a brand that I recognize, but feel free to look at these various companies that are here. The other option, and I'll show you TaxSlayer here in a second, but the other option is the quad F option, right? Free File Fillable Forms, where you would just click on here and you could read the instructions, but basically what they want you to know is that you will be filling out filling out the forms sort of on your own using the IRS instructions, right? So only do this if you feel comfortable preparing your tax return, or maybe you paid to have your tax return paid in the prior year or prepared in the prior year, then use that as a guide. If nothing's changed much from year to year, then maybe this option might be good for you because you kind of know where the things on your tax return should go, all right? I don't think I actually mentioned this at the onset, but there's actually an option where you have people that will actually prepare the return for you for free. Now, in order to qualify for this, you've got to have income that's 60 grand or less. Maybe you have a disability, or you don't speak the English language very well. Then there's another program. So I guess it's sort of like option 4, if you will. So you can look into details here. Again, the description will be below. So if you have a low-income person that maybe they're an immigrant or they don't speak English that well, you can kind of send them somewhere and they can be assisted. But going back to this free file with these various options, I clicked on Tax Slayer, and so you can kind of see, you click here, see if you qualify, and it's going to talk about what your income level needs to be, or if you take the earned income tax credit, then, you might be a good candidate for this. If you don't qualify for it, Tax Slayer is a program where you can kind of use them to prepare your return anyway. And so if you don't qualify for it, it says here, right here, the federal filing is only $20, and each state return is about $40. Okay, so you can get in and out for about $60, which is not too bad. Let me show you that other option where I was talking about using TurboTax. So if you go to turbotax.com and click, I think, on pricing, you'll get to this screen, and you see there's various options that they have to prepare your return. I'm going with this one, right? I'm trying to compare apples to apples. $0 with the big asterisk. Okay. So what does that mean? I clicked on the asterisk for you. Just sort of, I thought it was kind of funny. You have to go through all of this. If you're looking for this disclosure yourself, click here, more important details, and then boom, you get all the fine print, right? So now I lost where it said, okay, here it is. So I'm not going to, well, maybe I will read it to you. So try for free, pay when you file. TurboTax Online and Mobile Business Pricing is based on your tax situation and varies by product. TurboTax Free Edition, which is 0 federal, 0 state, and 0 to file, is available for simple tax returns only. See if you qualify, and has limited functionality, okay? Well, in order to see if you qualify, I clicked here for you already. What qualifies as a simple tax return? Well, if you've got just W-2 income, maybe you earned interest on a bank account, or you opened a new credit card and they gave you $300 bonus points, that would be sort of interest paid to you. You take the standard deduction, you might qualify for the earned income tax credit. You got children, student loan interest deduction, then hey, you can use this one. And my understanding is, whereas the sort of free file programs have an income limitation of like, I think it's $73,000 or less in what's called adjusted gross income, I don't think there's one here for the free version of TurboTax. So if you earn a little bit more income, like you and your spouse together have high wages, but it's very simple, it's on a W-2, then maybe trying this option would be the best for you. What do we have here? Yeah, so situations not covered is if you're going to itemize your deductions, which is rare nowadays. A lot of people aren't. You've got unemployment income. If you have a business, a small business, like whether it be a sole proprietorship or a partnership or an S corporation, this ain't gonna work for you. You're gonna have to pay for something. If you sold any stock, you can acquire stock, you can purchase stock throughout the year. But if you actually sold stock and you have something to report on that, then you can't use this. If you got rental property income, you can't use this. And it says it's using a generic disclaimer. If you've got other forms or schedules that need to be completed, such as it's called Form 8949 for crypto related investments, or also maybe that might be reported on something called Schedule D. You can't use this, okay? It's for more basic, picture yourself or you and your spouse earning W-2 income. Maybe you went to school, you've got some interest, loan interest, and some interest earned on a checking account, and you have a child. Hey, it could still work for you. That's really all I got. I really wanted to show you that there are ways to prepare your tax return for free. I showed you, I think, a total of 4 different ways. But if you're watching this video and you're kind of wondering like, well, what's the difference in between using a free service or TurboTax or an actual tax preparer or a CPA and someone who maybe specializes specifically in applying tax strategies, then maybe check out this video. I have it here on YouTube, and I'll pull it up if you're watching on YouTube in a second, so you can just click on it. But if you're not on YouTube right now, check out this video. Don't use TurboTax or CPA. Hire a tax strategist instead. Here's why. I kind of, in this video, go through the differences on what I think you would save in taxes depending on who you use, whether you use TurboTax, an actual tax preparer, a CPA, and someone who's more of a tax strategist. This has been a great video that I've gotten a lot of comments on and kind of opened people's eyes as to why you might want to have someone help you prepare your tax return. Okay, so with that said, hope you got some value out of this video. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you in either the course or the next video.